For a lot of people, open mics are a social opportunity, a chance to get together with your friends every week. And during the pandemic, that opportunity is lost. We're going to talk about a way that one musician is bringing people together virtually. Welcome to Charlie's Open Mic. My name is Charlie Mosbrook. On this week's show, we have Sue Fink, a Chicago-based songwriter, who has put together a series called The Virtual Dream Cafe. That's a Zoom-based songwriter series that she has put together to give people more of a social opportunity than what they would normally get from a streaming concert. We're going to talk to her about that more, and we're going to listen to her music, so let's do that now.
Hello, I'm Chicago Sue Fink. I'm going to sing one of my newer songs. This is my country / love gone wrong / technology song. And there's 3 characters in there. I'm going to be playing all 3. The third doesn't come in until the very end. And I just want to say that the second character, everything that I have the second character say in this song, the second character has said to me in real life. Lately you've been taking me for granted. Seems you only want me when you call. Seems like our relationship is slanted. You hardly give a thought to me at all. Like a magic genie in a bottle. Snap your fingers twice, I will appear. Soon you will dismiss me. I feel that you diss me. So here's my resolution for this year. Siri anymore. Won't be your beck and call girl like before. Don't call me your dearie or send me some sweet query, 'cause I won't be your Siri anymore. Siri's there each time you press a button. Hi there, how can I help? Siri answers when you say her name. I'm listening. Siri cannot speak unless invited. Siri cannot help but play the game. I'm not really political, I'm more poetical. Siri always speaks in measured voice, yeah. I don't know the answer to that. Always tells you what you want to know. Looks like it's 5 miles as the crow flies, but Siri doesn't have another choice, yeah. How about another tongue twister? Me, I can just turn around and go. 'Cause I won't be your Siri anymore. Won't be your beck and call girl like before. Don't call me your dearie or send me some sweet query, 'cause I won't be your Siri anymore. When you wake, you'll search and wonder why you your Siri anymore. Yeah, don't call me your dearie, and it makes me kind of teary, 'cause I won't be your Siri anymore. Hey Alexa, have you seen Siri?
Hello, Sue Fink. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Charlie.
It's good to have you. You came into performing folk music and being a songwriter a little bit later than a lot of people, back around 2000. Is that about right?
I came from a writing background, short stories and poetry and stuff, and I wrote something and I thought it might be a song, so I took a songwriting class with Andrew Calhoun. And they said yes, it was a song. So then I was like, darn it, now I'm going to have to learn how to play the guitar and sing. So I did kind of do it backwards. I know most people have been playing and singing for a long time, and then they write a song. And like most things that I do, I start at one end and then realize all the stuff I don't know, and then go back down to the bottom and go back up to where I was. Yeah.
Was the songwriting class with Andrew, was that at the Old Town School of Folk Music?
No, that one was in his apartment way back in the day. And when I finally did write a song and sing it, I just remember I passed out the lyrics to everybody. It was a summer day and I was drenched in sweat. My hands were sweating so bad I could barely play. My voice was wavering so bad the dogs were howling outside. And then everyone clapped because they thought I was done. I'm like, oh no, turn it over. And then there was a whole second page. I got through that all, and then someone stood me in front of the air conditioner and said, "You will survive. We've all done this. You will survive."
Now on your webpage you are listed as a raconteur. Do I pronounce that correctly?
You know, I can barely pronounce it myself. I say raconteur. Raconteur. But I'm sure there's a better way to pronounce it.
And
that's just because I talk a lot. So yeah.
Okay. I actually had to look that up, look up the definition of that. And so for those who don't know the definition, it is somebody who shares anecdotal stories. And you do that within song.
The anecdotes are probably between songs, and then I have story songs. And so those aren't really anecdotes as much as those are stories. So they're not all story songs, but a lot of times I'll tell a story leading up to a song, or I'll sing the song and then I'll tell a little story about it afterwards. So I think of my patter as more anecdotal, and then my songs actually they're like short stories. I was just thinking about an earlier, I was learning to play the guitar. I was taking private lessons with Michael Miles at the Old Town School of Folk Music. And I played in one of my early songs. It was called The Woman Who Was Always Right. And let's just say it had a lot of lines in it. And he made a suggestion that I get rid of a few lines. And I said, but I can't, because each verse has to have 14 lines. And he said, who commanded that? Who's the songwriter? I said, well, I'm the songwriter, but I can't just have less lines. And then he gave me a look. I said, are you saying that I should cut out 2 lines in all the verses? And he just went like, I thought, oh. So I learned that in songs, you don't have to tell every little thing. Sometimes between the verses, the audience understands. If you do a little musical interlude that some time has passed, you don't have to say time passed or whatever, and you can edit your songs. And that became very fun to me to learn how to do that. So I would write them as long as I wanted them, and then I would chop out entire verses, chop out lines, cut things, rearrange things. I'm like, ooh, now I think it's good.
So since COVID began, you began doing something called a virtual dream cafe. How did you come up with that name?
I have a cafe that I revisit in my dream. I have certain places that I revisit in my dreams. And in this particular one, I'll be at a cafe and I'll go, oh, I remember this cafe, but in the last dream it was on the other side of the street. I'll say that in the dream. So it's somehow I know I'm in a dream. And one time I said, I'm going to book myself in this cafe. So I booked myself in my dream cafe. And then when all this stuff was happening with the COVID, I looked up Dream Cafe, and there's an awful lot of real-life dream cafes, and I thought, if a dream cafe exists in real life, then it's not really a dream cafe. But you could have a virtual dream cafe. This whole thing was born out of my own selfish needs. What I miss, and what I miss was community and playing with other people and seeing the audience. And there was a place that we used to play regularly in Chicago called Wishbone North, and it closed actually in September. But I like playing my own sets of just me, but I also really like playing in the round. I think rounds are interesting. I enjoy picking people that I think would go well together. This person sings a song, that inspires the next person to sing a song. So it's like almost watching art developed right in front of your eye, and there's an energy to that. It's different because when I do my own sets, I like to prepare my own set list and what I think are the highs and lows, and I might still change that also when I'm playing it live, but at least I have an idea of where it's going. It's like a collection of short stories that create something bigger than a whole. It's like an album in a way, but you're doing it live. And when you're doing it in the round, it's a whole different kind of energy. I really enjoyed it. So I thought I came up with a list in 20 minutes of 162 people who I'd like to have as part of my virtual dream cafe.
Do you see this continuing once we are all vaccinated?
I hadn't. I thought this is a substitution for reality until reality comes back. But it's so much fun, and the fact is that I can ask people, like in January, it's going to be Scott Fabb and Joe Riley from Michigan. And normally, it would be really hard to get people to come to Chicago for in the round if there's not other shows that they have going on. Here, we can do it because we can log in, and the audience has been from all over the country. I mean, Still on the Hill and Jack Williams are from Arkansas. It's kind of neat. Noah Zacharin's from Toronto. So it's kind of fun. So I don't know. I don't know if there'll still be interest. We're doing the shows in Zoom. And because of that, the audience can see and hear us, and we can see and hear them. So they can unmute and clap. We can do sing-alongs where they're muted, but we can see them singing. I've seen people dancing in their little Zoom boxes. So it's kind of fun, and you have that energy, whereas I'm sure you've done shows just, out to the screen, and I've done those too, but I like seeing the audience, and I think the audience likes seeing each other too, and they feed off each other's energy, and so that's what I like about the Zoom environment.
You don't maintain them. They're not archived at all.
I don't. And I think it's just like right now, I think we're in COVID time. We're invited to so many things. Days and months pass. We don't know where we are, what time it is. And it's like, oh, I missed that show. I'll just watch it later. And I'm guilty of this too. I go back and I watch, and I'm multitasking. I'm checking my email. I'm checking in on the show. The performer doesn't get the benefit of the audience energy for that, and the audience doesn't get the benefit of the performer energy. And so this is like a real show. It's like, if you can come, great. Then we do the show. If you can't come, then you miss that show. Then hopefully you come to another show. I like the community aspect, and that's what I personally miss the most. That being said, my show on December 16th is a benefit show for the Lakeview Pantry. So there, my objective is not just community, but it's also raising money. So that one I will be streaming live to Facebook as well as Zoom, because we're trying to reach a larger audience, because there's a lot of hungry people who could use some help.
So you work as a solo performer primarily, but that's not your only vehicle for performing live. When we're able to get back to a normal world, you've got a couple groups. Do you want to tell me about those two groups?
I do. I'm in a trio called SongSisters, and it is me and Amy Dixon Kohler and Patty Schaffner. We're three very distinct songwriters with our own taste in songs. It's almost like an in the round in a way, except that we know what songs we're going to play, and that we can add harmony to each other's songs. So for the audience, it's a variety of styles. It's really fun. And for us, it's really fun. We've developed a really close friendship and relationship. And it's great getting to figure out harmonies and other parts on other people's songs, as well as having your own songs enhanced. And then Jane Godfrey and I are Catbird, and we are a touring duo. And we were going to be touring this year. We last got together to practice right before COVID hit. She's in St. Louis, I'm in Chicago. We meet to practice. We had a tour in 2014 where we went out to the West Coast. It was almost a month-long tour, and it was so much fun. It's so good to meet someone that you have similar likes with when you travel. That's so important. We had wonderful friends that we stayed with along the way, and the piece de resistance was in L.A. The other Sue Fink, the more well-known Sue Fink, who is the director of the Angel City Chorale and is also a singer-songwriter. We've been friends now for like 10, 15 years, and she hosted us in a house concert, and it was called Sue Fink Squared. And their audience was full of the Angel City Chorale people. her partner's name is Jane. So it's just kind of, it was surreal and so much fun.
Part of your story, what I think you're telling, it revolves both around songwriting and community. And to me, there's no better way to, if the theme of the show is it's an open mic, songwriting and community is what that's all about.
You're right. It is. That's what you do too.
Yeah. We like to build that stuff and make it happen.
I do. I think it's so important. It's not just about, I do love getting up and performing. I do love it.
Mm-hmm.
And I love it when people love it. But for me, it's about the energy exchange. And I remember this one show, it was at Uncommon Ground on Devon, and it was darker in the room, so I couldn't see people. I like to be able to see them, and I couldn't. So instead of seeing them, I felt things, like my arm would ping, and I'd think, oh, someone on that side of the room really is liking that song. Or I'd feel different things, and at the end, different people came up. This was your best song. This was your best song. Someone else would go, no, this was your best song. And people were relating to different things. That was just so interesting to me and meaningful to me.
And I think when you were talking about the way the virtual dream cafe is, once the song's over, or once it's over, it's over. But what lasts is the community you built between the performers and the audience, and that I think all of that is much bigger than us and bigger than our songs.
I think so too. I after the Katie Doll and Ann Heaton one, which was the last one, I just thought people are still going to be thinking about this show. There was something magical that happened. We all ended up singing very hopeful songs. There was something that was building in the room. And I was getting emails for days afterwards. People like, that was just some show, That was really, that meant something. I talked to the owner, not the owner, the guy who used to book me at the Wishbone North. I called him because I was wondering how he was doing. And he was a good friend. And we talked for about 2 hours. And he's like, I'm not ready to go online yet. I'm not ready to look at the music online. To me, music is a live thing. But he said, I really appreciate all you silver lining people who are making the best of your situation. You're not trying to replace reality, but you're making the best of the situation while it is. And I thought, yeah, I like that. That's what we're trying to do. I mean, I certainly don't want this to replace reality, but there are benefits, like we were talking. There are benefits of having people all in one room, and someone wrote and said, this is such a good way to listen to the music because we're all really listening to what's going on. I wonder if when we get back in real life, people are just going to start chatting out loud during the show like we're all so used to typing our little chats during the show. I don't know what's going to happen. But I can hardly wait to find out. I miss real life. I am a person who always says change is good, but I don't really believe it. I will do everything I can to not have change. I want everything to be a certain way. And of course it isn't. But every time I do have to go through a change, I'm always happy after the change. And I think that a lot of us don't want to change because we fear what's going to be on the other side. But if we just do it, and then you come to the other side and you're like, oh, why was I so scared of this? This is actually fine. I'm going to be fine. And
now we'll walk tonight. A new morning brings a new hope and light, and I'll walk tonight with you. And now we'll walk tonight. My best friend, my guitar, and an old pair of shoes, and I'll walk tonight with you. And now we'll walk tonight. The new day, it brings a new shot of life, and I'll walk tonight with you. And every day it brings a little more hope, and every day it brings a little more pain. Every day I pray and I hope that I won't fade away, and I will walk tonight. A new day, it brings a new shot of life, and I'll walk tonight with you, and I will walk tonight. My best friend, my guitar, and an old pair of shoes, and I'll walk tonight with you, and I will walk tonight. The new morning brings a new hope and light, and I'll walk tonight. Walk tonight, and I will walk tonight with you. Hey, thanks for watching Charlie's Open Mic this week, and thank you to Sue Fink for sitting down and talking to me and sharing her music. As always, please hit that subscription link down below. Please ring the bell for notifications. You can always visit us at charliesopenmic.com and find our Patreon page to help support the show. We'll see you next week. Thanks for watching.